This conference will now be recorded.
அப்படியா? All right. So let me start the presentation. Room கம்மியா இருக்கும் போல இருக்கு. The COVID-19 has literally brought all the world into knees. Okay, and where
Jay, there is a lot of noise coming.
The virtual classrooms. Okay, so today is the first class. If there is any shortcomings or there are any challenges, I would request all of you to be patient because it may take a day or two for us to iron out the issues, if at all any. And anyways, I am recording this particular class. After the class gets over, we will send the video recorded session as well, so that some of them who are not able to attend this session can basically play the video and then attend them as well. Okay. So with this introduction, I'd like to go ahead and start the details about this contingency plan. If you see the phase one, as all of you might have seen in the video that we have shared, where me and Mubin has sent out a message to all of you guys. The first phase that we are starting today is the virtual classroom model using Disha workshop. The reason why we have chosen Disha is because it is not very technical in nature and it is not batch specific. So you don't need to basically worry too much about demonstrating a code or sharing any technical details. All of us can attend it from the home, so that this particular workshop will not only help you to understand the content, but also get us used to this particular online way of learning. So that's the reason why we are rolling out as a first phase. So as you might have seen in the message, we are planning to do it in a 5-phase session, 5 classes, starting today morning 11 to 12 every day in hours time. 4 days is what we are planning, and if the session spills out, probably we can take it one more day. So that's a phase 1 plan, guys. Phase 2, the first one, planning is to organize a series of prep sessions. To organize a series of prep sessions, which is called phase 2, in which we are planning to do more of a preparation workshops, which is more technical in nature. We would like to organize the technical topics in terms of whatever the courses that you are going to go through. So we'll do that in phase 2. And once we do that, by then all our students would have gotten used to this new way of learning, or the online way of learning. And then we will proceed to the phase 3, which is the self-paced online courses. So the third phase would be more of a recorded courses where you can play them via an online portal, or what you popularly call it as a learning management system, or an LMS, via which you will be able to basically look into these particular courses. So that's a 3-phase plan we have, because the challenge is we are really not sure when this particular situation is going to end and the normalcy is going to return. At the same time, we from mentors in Emergy and the management from Emergy do not want you guys to feel left out, and let us start engaging, right? So with that background, let me go ahead and start the class for today. So this is a Disha workshop, and we're presenting it from my home in Bangalore, right? So what is the agenda that we have for this 4 or 5 day session? So today, the first class, I am planning to mainly cover the topic of introduction and context setting. Let us understand this particular workshop and mainly the placement aspect of it, and ensure that we are in the same page. Let us understand that. That's the first step. And followed by that, probably starting tomorrow, we will start discussing the topic of resume preparation. We will understand why the importance of writing an impressive resume is important. At the same time, we'll also share you with templates and tips to write an effective resume. And followed by that, once the resume preparation is over, we'll move on to the interview facing part. Again, the interview facing consists of two areas. One is the technical interview facing, and also the HR interview facing. So we'll be covering both the aspects in that particular workshop. And templates, the resume templates are there. And this session we have made it to common for our embedded system students, core students, the IoT core students, and students who are going through the full stack web development under the WSA team, right? So we included all of them. So the templates and the links are slightly varying for these three people. So we'll be sharing the links and templates in the end. And the Q&A, anyways, I will be taking questions in the meantime during the presentation itself, right? So before I proceed, I'd just like to take a second and understand, maybe in the chat window, tell basically, many of you are from IoT or the stack course. Anybody is there? Can you just type the names, please? People who are from IoT course or from website. Can you just type your names? Yeah, I could see Shashank. Shashank from IoT course joined. James is there. I don't know James, which course. Deepak is there. Okay. So ECEP, I could see Garima joining from that course. And yeah, I could see Arun from IoT course. Yeah. All right, I could see Nivesh. Yeah, good number of from IoT course. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. And Ahana. So many of you are from IoT course. Yeah. There are few from the IoT course, few as well as from the IoT course. So I will be those templates in the presentation. There may be some of the aspects which may be specific to the embedded or stack course. All right. So with that introduction, let me move on to and the introduction part. Let me do the introduction for this particular session.
Hello.
So if you look at a high level, basically companies which are hiring placement students, right? Hiring buckets. The first bucket which we call the MNCs and the India big companies. For example, if you take an MNC companies like NXP, Qualcomm, Robert Bosch, these type of companies are what you call companies. They have their offices worldwide, and they have their India office, and primarily they hire for their India office, which is primarily sort of Bangalore or other cities.
Sir, can you hear me? Hello. Hello.
So that's a.
Sir, your sound is not coming properly, sir.
Sorry.
Sir, your sound is not coming properly. It's coming contiguous manner.
I'm not getting.
Sir, your sound is not coming proper.
Hello.
Is this internet problem
All
or?
the No.
Please mute your.
Some people are not. Hello.
Mute your video also.
Some people are not muted their phones.
The disturbance is creating issues in listening here.
Yeah. So that's the kind of MNCs which we talked about. So the second category of companies, what we call India-based big companies. For example, companies like L&T, Tech Mahindra, So they are all headquartered in India, but they primarily hire our students. So this is one set of companies which are hiring our students, right? That's one big bucket, right? Then the second bucket, if I move on to the right, mid-size engineering services companies, or what you call the mid-size companies. So these type of companies are, I would say, larger in number, right? Basically, if you look at companies like Avin Systems, Benison, Fridosha, Integra, companies are the ones which are mid-size companies. So when you say mid-size company, maybe anywhere around 30 people to 100, 200 people type of company who come and hire our students, right? Then the third type of companies which are really smaller, they may be a 5 people company, 10 people company, or they just started with a new idea. So these type of companies which come and hire our students, right? So companies like Real Things, Sirena, Thinktronics, Infobytes are some examples for this particular company, right? So the reason why I'm sharing this slide in the first instance itself is to give you an idea about what type of companies come and hire from us. Even though many of you know that, we need to put this understanding in mind before we start. And especially if you look at the company's distribution, the number 2, that is the mid-size engineering services companies, or the category 2 companies, will almost constitute 70% of our company. Right? So I would say 70% are mid-size companies, around 20% are MNCs, are India-based big companies, and 10% of them are startups. So that's a distribution you can think of, in this particular among different companies. So this is the companies. So here, you're wondering, irrespective of all these companies, right? All of them have one common problem of getting right set of engineers for the team, right? Because as we've been from your induction program, in India we have about 2 lakh engineers graduating every year, and not many of them are having reliable skills. So, want to hire the students, but many of them are not able to hire because they don't get a skilled people. There are a lot of numbers available, quantities available, but they are not able to get the right numbers in terms of their requirements, right? So that's the reason why we choose an institute like Immerzi or WSA to come and hire our students. So this is the context that I want to understand. Just a minute.
Prakash, mute your mic.
Hello.
Please mute your mics.
Okay. See, a lot of you are going and coming back. Okay, please stop this and then only please mute your phones. I think still there is some kid is crying in the background. I don't know which person is doing that. I've done a mute all option here, but still there is some there is one or two students from where we are getting the maximum noise. Request you to mute your headphone. There is an option to mute.
ಅವರು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್
Okay.
ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದಾರ ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ
All right, I think it is better now. I will proceed. Okay. Okay, so that's the companies which you're talking about, right? Whom who are hiring our students. Now you may be wondering why these companies are hiring our students, right? Primarily, as you may understand, when you study in colleges, these companies won't come to our campuses. But when you start taking our courses, these companies come and hire our students, right? So we may want to understand why they are hiring, because that's a very important understanding that one should have. So let me move on and show you the reason why they hire or what are the benefits that the hiring companies are getting. Okay. These are the benefits that the companies are getting. For example, the first and foremost benefit is all our students, if they are getting selected, they join immediately, right? You might have observed among your friends or our previous batch students. So whenever there is a company which is coming and hiring, right, and then they make an offer to a student, they join immediately. This might look very simple from your side, but this plays a very important role as far as the companies are concerned. Because if you look at majority of the companies, when they go and make a campus offer, right, they need to go and make that offer almost 1 year back. For example, if you take current batch students who will be passing out in the year 2020, probably the company would have visited them in last year June or July, and they would have made an offer, for them to join this year's June or July. So what happens is the companies need to wait for almost 1 year for these students to join the company, right? So one benefit that they come and hire from our institute is that students can join immediately, right? That's one benefit. Second benefit is the reduced cost in terms of training. Okay, so let me just minimize my presentation and then show you guys a rough mathematics that what the companies are gaining in terms of the cost or the training time. So let us say, for example, a company is paying a student 15,000 rupees. Say, let us say a fixed salary, fixed salary is 15,000 per month. Let us take a rough calculation. So assuming that they are hiring from the market, right? They are not hiring from an institute like us, but they are hiring from a market. So typically, when they hire from an open market, it takes almost 6 months for them to make them contribute to the project. So let us say, timeline is 6 months, right? Timeline is 6 months. So roughly the company has to spend, let us say 6 into 15,000 rupees per month. 15,000 rupees per month, which roughly which comes out to be 19,000 rupees as a fixed expenses. So whether when you join a company, whether you are contributing to the project or you are not contributing to the project, 90,000 rupees is already paid to you, right? The company has to incur this cost. And some of us or many of you may be thinking that the company has an expense to the employee only in form of a salary. That is not true, right? The company will also have other fixed other expenses with respect to an employee. Let us say, for example, the infrastructure that the company is providing, right? If you go and look into various co-working spaces in Bangalore, right? Easily one person's cubicle cost will cost them anywhere around 20,000 rupees. So let us say, for example, 6 months. Okay, let us even put a worst case scenario of 10,000 rupees per month. So which will again add up to 60,000 rupees, right? Then easily in form of the senior members coming and training you, and then they're providing the necessary software, hardware, all your snack expenses, etc. So easily you can add about 50,000 rupees into the company's expenses. So roughly if you add up these things, so the total expenses, any company, whenever they're hiring fresher, they need to spend, a 2 lakh rupee money straight away before they get even a small amount of output from any individual, because when they join, people may not be skilled, right? So what is the disadvantage of this model? This disadvantage of this model is it takes 6 months of time, right, to train the student, right? Then 2 lakh of expenses, so which is again money, right? Okay. So both in terms of money and time, right? The companies are losing their edge by taking up this model. So what we are telling to the companies whenever we are hiring them is that, this particular expenses that you are going to spend, right? We cannot make it zero. For example, we cannot say this 2 lakhs money by hiring our student, it will become zero. That's not possible, right? That will be a very idealistic situation where a student will start contributing from day one. So that's not going to help. So what we are going to tell them is at least this particular money or this particular expenses, we will reduce it to half, right? At least, instead of the 6 months training, if they can make it into 3 months, right? That would be a great benefit that we are passing on to the company. So what we are telling is, reduce training cost by 50%, then 3 months. Then instead of 6 months, we make it 3 months. We tell them reduce, training duration by 50%. So these two are very important as far as the companies are concerned, because they are getting ready-made or trained resources for the project, right? Instead of spending 2 lakh rupees of money and 6 months of time, they are able to spend only 1 lakh rupees of money, and then 3 months of time, they're able to have their employees contributing. Okay, so this is a simple equation that we explain to the companies, right? Leaving the fact that whether a student is doing an embedded course or an IoT course or a full stack development course, that comes later, that because that is a technology specific view. But from a company's business perspective, this is a simple example we tell them, or simple story we tell them, and that's a primary reason why, these companies come and hire from our institute, right? This is one thing we need to understand, right? So moving on, because they're able to reduce the time and also the money, the efficiency of the system goes high, right? They're able to deploy these students faster into the projects, right? They don't need to wait for 6 months time, or they don't need to spend money. So we are helping companies with time, cost, and efficiency are the 3 parameters, okay? Important parameters. Then the fourth one, which we wanted to call out, is the professional service that we give as a team from Emergy and WSA. So as you know, we have a placement department, and also we have student coordinators. So what we ensure is that we provide them with a excellent service, be it in form of response time, right? For example, whenever a company is asking for a candidate list, right, we send them in a very quick session. We share them the list of students, right, and also we ensure that no student after getting the offer, he or she is rejecting that particular offer, right? We tell them that if you are getting an offer, you have to join, and it makes a lot of sense for the companies, because if they are getting 100% joining rate from our institute, that is going to play a very good plus point for them to come and hire from us again and again, right? And as you have already observed, right, more than 70% of the companies are repeat hiring companies, which means they hire from one batch and then they come after 2 or 3 batch and then they come and hire our students again, right? So these type of things are what the reasons why the companies come and hire. So let me summarize. By hiring our students, they get ready-made trained resources so that they're able to gain benefit in form of cost. They're able to gain benefit in terms of efficiency. They're able to gain benefit in terms of their time also. So we are giving all the benefits to the companies which are hiring, and followed by that, we as a placement team, we give a very good support so that they come back to us and then hire from us not only once or twice, they keep hiring from us batch on batch basis. So this is a very important point of view to understand before we get into the Disha workshop. Okay, I hope it is clear. I would like to hear your responses. Can you just type in the chat window? Are you getting this particular thing? Just say yes, no. Just say yes. I'm seeing Shubham, Basumati, Tapan, Piyush. Wow, cool. Okay. A lot of responses are coming. Satyamurthy, Neetu. Some Lenovo is there. Darshan, Ram Prakash, Vinayaka, Naval, Ashwini, Kush. Nice guys. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your responses. Yeah. All right. Good. Preeti. Thank you guys. Okay. So let us move on to the next slide, which is nothing but typically I clarify in the beginning of the Disha workshop is that there may be a lot of fact or frequently asked questions by students. Okay, so there are roughly about 12 questions that are there, which mostly will cover all the questions that you have. So I put them up in the slide and I'll go through them one by one and I'll explain. And of course, if you have any more questions, you can reach out to us offline, right? So let me start with the fact part of it. This is a slide again. So the first fact or the most frequently asked question which I come across is, I was promised minimum X chances. How many more opportunities can I get, right? As you know, when you joined our course, right, our counseling team or our admin team would have told you, you are a 2019 and you are a so and so percentage, and you will be getting X number of opportunities. They might have told you that you'll be getting 9 opportunities or 12 opportunities or 5 opportunities, whatever it is, right? They would have committed you some numbers, right? So many times we come across this particular question that, okay, then they say that this is a minimum number of opportunities, right? Minimum 9 or minimum 5. The question a student most likely I end up hearing is that, sir, I suppose I am being promised 9. How much more you can give more than 9? Now, assuming that I'm not able to clear my placement chances within 9 opportunities, how much more I can get, right? So this is a first and foremost question which I would like to clarify, and I would say there is a good news, or we are making some revision into our placement system as well. So let me go back to our notepad and explain, right? First and foremost thing is we wanted to come out and announce a policy change, right? Basically, we are going to we are bringing in a change in our placement policy where we are not going to basically give this minimum or a maximum numbers, right? Okay, so we want to come out of these number games because it is creating quite a lot of confusion among students, and sometimes it becomes some kind of a negotiation. So definitely that is not the way we want to engage our students. So we are not going to give any minimum maximum numbers, right? Rather, what we are going to say is we are going to say something like this, right? Okay, if basically, suppose you are taking up a course with us, whether it is a embedded system course or an IoT course or a full stack course, right? What we are going to be announcing now is that, okay, you can get a continuous placement support, right? Okay, for 1 year after your course completion. Okay, that is, suppose somebody joined a course, right? And sometimes we also hear feedback, right? Sir, your course get delayed. The 6 months course already became a 7-month, etc. Right? So what we are announcing here is that whichever the timeline your course gets over, suppose somebody joined the course in Jan, right? And then the course got, suppose somebody joined our course in, let us say, Jan 2020. And let us say the course will get over by July 2020. Or let's say, for example, due to this current coronavirus situation or etc., let us add one more month to it. Let us say, the course is getting over by August 2020. So this is the timeline the student will, will complete the course. So let us say this is course completion, right? So what we are announcing is that, right, from August 20, so from you can till August 2021, right? Okay, you will get placement support. Right? So you don't need to restrict whether it is a 3 number, 4 number, 5 number, right? You can apply for as many companies as you want. There is absolutely no limit that is going to be there. One. Second thing is, and your placement will start as per your plan. For example, if somebody has joined in Jan 2020, typically the placement would have started, like say March 2020. Unfortunately, we are not in the state now due to the current situation. But assuming that this was the situation, right, the placement will begin. So placement start. Let us say once you complete your C module, right? After that, you start applying for placement. So that will still hold good. Okay. Probably we'll be introducing an entry criteria or an eligibility test going forward. But leaving that portion apart, purely from an opportunity perspective. So let me repeat: as a student joins in Jan 2020, and March he will start applying. Let us say July he gets the course gets over. July should supposed to get over due to Corona. Let us say August the course gets over. Till August 2021, you will get placement opportunity from us, right? And we are not going to limit you saying that, okay, you are getting 5, you are getting 7. As you know, the shortlisting purely depends on the company, right? And as far Emerzi placement team is concerned, we try to push and get you as many as opportunities for all of you guys, right? So given this particular situation, we want to come out of this number game and give this benefit to our students so that they get maximum opportunity from these companies. So if you roughly put a mathematics, right, March 2020, right, when you start applying March 2020 to August 2021, you will be able to get the placement opportunities, which is how many months? So roughly about March to March, 1 year, April, May, June, July, August, right? So roughly about, I can say 17 months or 1.5 years. Okay. So you will get a placement support through our placement department, right? Isn't it a good news, guys? Okay, in the time of challenging. So we want to make this announcement. Okay, 2 reasons. One is this policy was already decided from us, right? And I want to take this opportunity to announce it now because we don't want you guys to, feel negative about the given situation, right? Or feeling, I'm sure sitting at your homes, all of you are feeling very negative. You will be questioning, what will be my future? What will happen when the course will resume, etc. Okay, so forget about all these worries, right? We are there to support you, right? And as much as your course is getting delayed due to Corona, your placement support time also is going to get extended, and we are not going to restrict you based on the number of opportunities, right? Isn't it a good news, guys? I want to hear your views. Just type your responses in your chat. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm seeing great news, sir. Okay. Awesome. I'm getting a very good response. Okay. Superb. Okay. Good news. Okay. What about eligibility criteria? Eligibility criteria is the same. Okay, you don't need to worry about the eligibility criteria. Will depend on the company. Okay, and you might have yes, it is applicable for all the batches. Okay, whether you are from an ECEP, ECIP, WSA, it is applicable for all the batches. Okay, and unfortunately, I may not be able to clarify all your queries now. Okay, some of you will be having, sir, I am from 2017 pass out. What will I do? I am from a 2016 pass out. What I do? I would say this policy applies to all. Okay, we are not going to restrict or we are not going to limit this even for year of pass out. Okay, no basically filtering based on year of pass out issue also. Okay, issue here. Okay, any year of pass out, this will be applicable. Okay, only issue is, I'm telling you, it purely depends on the company. See, if the company comes and tells, no, we cannot allow a student from a 2017 batch, or I cannot allow a student from a 2018 batch, we will try to push, but that purely depends on the company. But if you look at statistically, if we are announcing this by looking into a lot of numbers, right? If you look at the 2018 and 2019 statistics, right? We have roughly, I don't know the exact number, we have roughly around 100 companies, right? Around 100 companies who came for any year of pass out. Okay, so which means to say that as long as you are doing our assignments and as long as you are doing our projects, okay, you should not have any issue in getting your opportunity, right? Okay, so we want to make this announcement. Okay, so there is no number game anymore. It's only a time limit, that to about 1.5 years of time we are going to give you guys. So whether you are sitting in, that's why I asked, some of you are sitting in Hyderabad, some of you are sitting in Belgaum, wherever you are sitting, tell your parents you are not going to get affected because of this corona. And also anyways, we are revising our placement policy. We are here to support you guys. Okay, in fact, for me, the Disha or any other resume preparation is secondary. In fact, all the mentors we discussed in depth before we launched this session. So that's going to be secondary. For us, the more important thing is to give you guys a feeling that you are taken care and you are supported, right? Because in the tough time only you guys need support, and we are here to support you. Okay, so that's the first message that I wanted to share. Let me just check how many more messages are coming. Okay, yes, okay. What about percentage criteria? So I will just pause here. Okay, what I would suggest is you may have a lot of questions, right? Some of you will have separate questions. So what I would suggest is please add all your queries to support, okay, at emergy.com, right? We will try to answer, and we will also send out an official email about this change in policy as well as we move forward, right? So we will please send an email to this particular, all of you have Anandi ma'am's email ID. She's very well active. She's very well responding to all the student queries, right? So please shoot out a mail. We will respond to your specific query. And before that, just watch out for our official email in this regard, about this change in the placement policy, right? So, that's a positive news, guys. In this challenging times, we wanted to share with you. Okay, so unfortunately, there are too many messages. I'm not able to respond. So we'll come back to you and ensure that all your queries are answered, right? Okay. So let me move on to the second frequently asked question. Sorry, guys, let me. So I am from a 2017 batch. For the past 1 month, I didn't get any chances. Old batches, do they have issue? So I would say the answer is it purely depends on the company. So let me give you again, use my notepad to explain few things. Okay. So if you look at the pattern of companies, let us say a timeline of, let us say September 2019, right? And then let us say September, October, November 2019. Then from November, let us say February 2020. Let us take this time interval, right? So September to November is roughly about 3 months time, right? Here you have a 3 months window. And November to February, let us say again, you have a 3 months window, right? Okay. So if you look at the pattern of companies which has come between September to November, and November to February 2020, the companies will not be same, right? As you need to see, the company name keeps changing, the type of companies. Sometimes you see a lot of startups are hiring from us. Sometimes you see a lot of big companies are hiring from us, or sometimes you see mixture of all, because purely depends on the business dynamic, because the company's requirement will keep changing, right? So what I would suggest is, if you are from a 2017 or a 2016, or you are from a older batch, as I made an announcement in the previous FAQ itself, you don't need to get concerned at all. Or in case if you're not getting shortlisted last 1 month, you can still wait and apply for other companies. As you already know, shortlisting purely depends on the company. From our placement department, we do a lot of negotiation, guys, in the back end. You may not know, because if the company comes and tells 65% academic criteria is required, we go negotiate with them whether can you make it 60%. We go negotiate with them. Second thing, the company tells no, 2019 pass out only. We go and tell, what about my students? What good number of my 2017 are there? Can include them, right? So in the back end, our placement team does a lot of negotiation with the placement companies to ensure that even somebody who is from the older batch is also getting a good number of opportunities, right? We already do that, so you don't need to get concerned about that. Do we really care about the 2019 pass out only, or even the 2019 guys will be already worried? Oh sir, it's already March, and we are locked up inside the home. Maybe another couple of months, my junior will come out. What will happen to me, right? Okay. So let me repeat, you guys just don't need to get concerned at all. We are already made an announcement, and even if you are from a previous batch, if you are from a 1 year back or a 2 year back pass out, then also you don't need to absolutely worry, right? All you need to worry is, when an opportunity is given to me, do I have the necessary skill set in terms of my resume or in terms of my projects, which I can demonstrate to the company? So that's the only concern that you should have. Apart from that, you should not have any concern with respect to the placement opportunity at all. So that should be your only concern, right? So whether you are an older batch pass out, stay tuned. There is absolutely no reason to get concerned at all, right? So let me move on to the third one. I was eligible for 3 companies and I applied, but I did not get shortlisted any. Now the company says, sir, it is 60% and a 2019 pass out. I applied for 1, I applied for 2, I applied for 3. But in all the 3 companies, I did not get shortlisting. Okay. Again, the reason, let me repeat, shortlisting purely depends on the company. We try to push, or we try to basically get you guys maximum shortlisting, but many times when the companies are filtering out some number of students, let us say we send a student list of 30, and then they only shortlist 15 students. We from the placement department, we don't go and ask them, why you did not shortlist the remaining 15, right? And if you ask them, right, they will take it very not in a positive way. They'll say, we know why we are filtering. Don't ask me any questions. So that's the response we get. So whether when you send, sometimes you see, right, some companies will have hundreds of applications, and probably 4 or 5 would get shortlisted, right? So these issues will keep happening to company. So in case if you're not getting shortlisted for some number of companies, you don't need to get concerned. But if it is happening, more than 3 or 4 companies, let's say you applied for 6 companies or 5 companies, still you did not get shortlisting for even 1, then you can reach out to us, you can let us know. Because what I've seen recently, some of the students, when they reached out to us, right, there was some issue in their data. For example, let me tell you a very simple issue, right? When we are shortlisting the students, right, we shortlist them based on our student academia and your email ID and your phone number. What I've seen in some cases, since our placement application is a Google Sheet, right, and some of the students even forward that Google link to their friends, and I've seen even our non-emergency students are applying, right, even though we are working in our Aladdin tool to make it more password protected, etc. What I've seen is some students apply who are not at all emergency students, right? So how do I distinguish between an emergency student and a non-emergency student? It is primarily by looking into your email ID and your phone number. Okay. So when I refer your email ID, which is there in your database, and you are applying with a different email ID, then there could be chance that I may be filtering out your name, right? So in that cases, that's why I'm telling you, if you are not getting shortlisting for more than, let us say, 5 company or 6 company, you can come and check with us, and cross verify your, mobile number and email IDs are proper. Recently, some of the students reached out to us and they were very disappointed that they are not getting shortlisting. And then when we went in and checked, the email ID which the student was applying and the email ID which was there in our database was very different. And especially if you take a common name, let us say Naveen or Kaveen or Chaitra, which is a very common name that we come across, we really don't know whether, if you look at Naveen, there may be some 10 Naveens in our database, right? So these are all the challenges that we go through. So please ensure that when you are applying with the same email ID and the phone number which you have given to us at the time of your admission. You can always come and change it with our front desk or with Anandi ma'am. In any case, if it is not happening for more than 5 companies, you can always come and approach us, right? I hope it's clear. The simple message is you don't need to get disappointed that you are not getting shortlisted for 3 companies continuously. So let me move on. The fourth one, can it between 2
Jay, your voice is not audible.
Allow that option, right? Suppose there can be a scenario, or if you look at some of the campuses, when we go and talk to the placement officers, etc., and we also dream offer, etc.
Sir, your voice is not clear, sir.
Your voice is not clear.
We can hear you.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
It looks like my internet dropped for a while. Many of them are trying to do work from home, right? That's a challenge we have now. Okay. Many of you are sitting. Just a second, guys.
I think it's fine, Jay. You can continue now.
We can proceed. Okay. All right, so next are the fourth question. Let me move on to the next 4. Placement offers. Why don't Emergy allow that, right? We allow.
The audio is not clear.
For our normal offer, etc. Okay. So the reason I do a dream offer and why we don't allow it is, let me go back and
Clear. The voice is breaking.
show you the previous slide. The reason why companies are now hiring from us. One of the reason is offer to our emergency student, right? So we don't allow an rejection. So what happens whenever we are allowing multiple job opportunities happen? One is suppose let us say it's an offer from company B, right? And he chooses to join company B in company A. For the company A, they consider B instead of company. So what happens? Consider as an offer rejection. That means they did an offer, but the student did not join. Okay? So that puts
Please
our
repeat your
institute in a
voice.
bad light. One thing. Second thing is, whenever one student is grabbing, instead of another student might get, all the students are mainly focusing on. So that is our goal. So we don't have multiple students applying for multiple application is okay. Multiple job, don't allow that. Is a very important thing. So these days realize, right, their academic performance. So let us take two students from our institute itself. There are two students, both of them are 2019 pass outs, and they are classmates. They studied in the same class, and one student is having 70% in their engineering, in his engineering degree. But let us say in our emergency evaluation system, in the C programming, he scored 55 marks. Emergency modules, emergency C score. On the contrary, there is another student, right? There is a student, his classmate. Okay, so he has scored 62% his engineering, 7 marks in emergency C module score. Let us take these two scenarios, right? Two friends, friend A and friend B, right? So companies are preferring basically the second person than the first person because they know the engineering marks, whatever you scored, it is more theoretical in nature, and that may not be actually helping them in the hiring process. Otherwise, they would have anyways hired you based on your engineering marks, right? Okay. So the point I want to drive here is your performance in emergency will definitely matter, because whenever we are sending the placement tracker to the companies from our placement department side, we highlight or we mark your placement or your performance in emergency in terms of we mark them as green, orange, yellow, etc. Right? We mark them and send. So the shortlisting, if you wanted to get more shortlisting, you can focus more on your emergency assessments, primarily the assignments and projects. That would definitely get you more shortlisting than your academic performance, right? So that's the reason you may see, eventually in case of this, this student may not get shortlisted, okay, whereas this student might get shortlisted. You see such issues, such anomalies will keep happening. So that's mainly because of what I mentioned. Companies are looking for skill, but they're not looking for the academic performance alone. Right? So that's another important thing you need to keep in mind. Right? Okay. And I'll take one more. I think we are kind of running out of time. I'll take the sixth fact and then stop, and we'll continue from tomorrow. The sixth one says like this: there's a difference in salary mentioned in emergency and offer letter. What can you do? Okay? And we are seeing that it has happened with few companies, even though we want to avoid the situation. Okay? So in such cases, you need to bring this to our placement department notice, right? For example, for us from the placement department, whatever we mention in our placement application plays the major role. For example, in our placement application, suppose somebody says, we floated with an application, right? 2.4 lakhs per annum. Is the CTC that are the salaries that we quoted, right? But when you get an offer letter, suppose the student gets like this, 1.2 lakhs per annum, right? 50% reduction has happened, maybe corona discount or what, right? Okay. So whenever you see something like this, a major anomaly happening, please come and notify us. We will try to sort it out. And if there is a major discrepancy like what I shown here, you don't need to actually take that offer. You can pause it and you can apply for other companies. Okay? For us, what we put in the placement application is the final number, and then we ensure that all our students get their CTC. Any discrepancies like this, you can always let us know. Okay? So I think I will pause here. Okay, but before we close, I have a couple of questions here. Okay? You can see I have 2 questions. You can type your answers in the chat window. Okay, let me. Okay, so 2 questions I have. The first question is, what are the 3 reasons I told 4, but at least you can tell 3 reasons that companies hire our students. You can type your answers. What are the 3 reasons that placement companies hire our students? Type your answers in the chat window, and I will choose some winners also. Okay, I want 3 reasons. Okay. Okay, great. I saw 3 reason was first given by Kavya. Oh my God, this is running too fast. Okay, I look into this particular responses slightly later. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce before start the session tomorrow. I will announce winner based on these quizzes, right? Okay, and that winner, once you are back, will get some goodies from us. Okay, we need some motivation, guys. Come on. Okay. All right. Second question. Okay. Second question. You see a photo in this slide, right? Okay. What is the real name of the person and also the character that he has played in the movie which is there in that picture? Let me repeat. You see a person's photograph. I need both the names, his original name and the character that he has played. Arey, virus sabko pata hai. Okay. I need both. Boman Irani, virus can be better. Professor, okay. Professor 3 Idiot. Virus also I will give you only half marks. What is the full name? Boman Irani, Dina Hayyim, my God. Viru Sahasra Buddhi, okay. And Boman Irani are the right answers. Rather, Boman Irani and Viru Sahasra Buddhi is the right answers. Okay, all right, guys, great. Trying to see a lot of responses coming. Okay, I will just scan through these chat messages. Okay, I will tomorrow before we start the session, I'll announce at least 3 winners based on the time and the way how they answered. Okay, and I'll be running quiz every day. Okay, don't think only this is the quiz. Every day, end of the class, or sometimes even I will start in between the classes and we'll ask some questions. Okay, and whomever answers them well, we'll keep a database, and then once you're back, we'll give you guys some goodies, right? Okay, so thank you very much for all of you joining today's class. Okay, so I'd like to take a minute and take your feedback. How was the class today? Can you just type your feedback in the I'm still getting Boman Irani. Okay, not Boman Irani. Okay. How was the class today? Thank you, sir. Very nice. Great initiative. Thank you, sir. Awesome, sir. Okay. Send those presentation to us. Okay. New experience. Of course, yes, for us also new experience. Voice breaking. I'll try to make it better. Too. Okay. I'll also send out links. Today evening for students to take care because many of them are didn't mute in the beginning. Okay, and as I told you, especially on the placement announcement that you have made responses, it's not our initial learn, and we'll start with the prep sessions also. Okay, all right, guys. Okay, I'm still getting a lot of messages. So thanks a lot for joining. I see all our immersive mentors also in the today's presentation. Okay, and there is also limitation where this tool, that is GoToMeeting, can allow maximum of 250 participants. I guess some of them I know dropped out because of little bit late. All right, guys, my audio has been restored. We will resume tomorrow. Okay. So thank you very much, and I'll take your feedbacks also. We'll try to make it better. Okay, whatever the hiccups we faced today. Bye.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, bye.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye,
Bye.
sir. Thank you, sir. It is very useful.